Hello everyone and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted update, my bi-weekly give or take video showcasing some stuff that's been painted for the channel for the various games we play. As per last week, lots and lots of Gotham City Chronicles here and at the back there, but a couple of Marvel Crisis Protocol thrown in, and some also Marvel Universe / DC / Batman miniature game at the front, which is what we'll start with, and obviously the large lad at the back there that I forgot to show last time and have brought this time. So let's start at the front because I need to move it out of my way. So this is, everything all done with contrast as always. This is the Ben Affleck Batman, not in his power armor from when he's fighting Superman. So unlike the power armor, which is only usable in DC Universe, this is usable in that and Batman miniature game, and he's pretty good. His stat card for the Batman miniature game 2nd edition is not bad. I like the texture on his suit. I don't know why they made it like that, but I actually kind of like the effect, and because it is so textured, the contrast Basilicanum Grey took to it really well. So yeah, just yet another variation of Batman for the pile, nice and easy and quick. Then 3 miniatures from Marvel Universe, starting with Deadpool, who I don't think I ever covered that I've been quietly tracking down more miniatures from Marvel Universe. Not any big like lump sum deals or anything, just occasional when I find a good deal on a miniature I don't have from the range yet. Got like 80% of the range done now. And yeah, they're old, they're metal, they're a little bit bent, the swords are not great, but contrast takes well to metal miniatures, and it turned out not too bad. This Blood Angel's red, Black Templar black, Agrax over the top for texture, and a little bit of snakebite leather. So next we have Hawkeye, basically painted in the exact same way as the Marvel Crisis Protocol one, and also, like I mentioned when I showed that miniature off, come on, get in focus Hawkeye, it's awkward because he's pulling his bow in front. Basically the same pose, more or less, and it is interesting. So again, Marvel must provide the same references and want the same things from the things produced miniature wise for their IPs. It's the only explanation for why so many of the Marvel Universe models are similar. So yeah, that's him. Not too happy with how he came out, honestly. It would help if there was a contrast purple that was brighter, but sadly Shyish is all we've got. So then the next man, although it's a lady, it's Rogue. Now I modelled her so it's like she's taking off in a kind of Superman-esque type way, because you're supposed to lean her forwards, but it just looked too fragile to me. So I was like, nah, we're going to have her taking off. So hopefully it's a little bit more sturdy. Warp Lightning green, Iliandan yellow, Snakebite leather, Griffhound orange, and just Grey Seer for her white streak in her hair. Agrax over the top again for detail because it works really well with these metal minis. I like that mini. It's fragile as you wouldn't believe, but it's a nice mini. So, Gotham City Chronicles. If we just put those two to the side, we'll do the Marvel Crisis Protocol last. But yeah, Gotham City Chronicles. You'd think with this bundle here, surely that's enough miniatures done that you're ready for the second scenario now that the first one has gone live. Nope. 4 more henchmen, and then the second scenario will be ready, and then 4 more henchmen after that, be ready for the third scenario, because this is actually a mixture of stuff needed for the second and third. The second scenario is Penguin. We can see here, must resist urge to make penguin noises. Quite a fun little mini, that. Again, mostly just Black Templar black, so not much to see. But it's him working with Dr. Death. Oh, sorry, rookie. We'll cover you in a second. So this is Dr. Death. He will show up at some point in the second scenario, but it's special conditions, so I'm not going to mention those yet. We'll discover as we learn it together. Quite a neat model. It's like a really large Poxwalker. I liked Dr. Death in the comics that led into Year Zero. That's the only one I'm familiar with him from, sadly. So those two are our villains for Scenario 2. And in order to open up some more hero options, painted some more of them. So we have, not super happy with, Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. Iliandan in yellow, Black Templar black. Basically identical to the pose from the Night Models mini of her. She's running forwards. Although I can't remember, did she have a Batarang in the Night Models one? I don't have it handy, it's upstairs, so I can't check. But yeah, not too happy with how that one turned out, honestly, but that's an option for a playable character for one of those missions. This is the default Batman, who you'll be seeing in Try 2 at Scenario 1. So he's just your basic one, kind of like your Arkham Asylum-esque kind of one. He's pretty good. He doesn't specialise, he's just a good Batman. Painted in the usual colours. And you'll also be seeing Nightwing in the second attempt at Scenario 1, Sing C. Always a fan of Nightwing. Never know how to add more detail to his costume, because his costume is just so plain. It's basically one colour. Well, two colours obviously, but it's mostly one colour. But yeah, I think that I like this model better than the Night Models one. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. He's all about combos. That's his kind of speciality. And then we have Damian Wayne, who nobody likes, but we have Damian Wayne. He's a choice for mission... I can't remember if it's mission 2 or mission 3 now offhand. I actually don't mind this mini. I don't mind it. The thing I have a massive problem with is that cape is far too long. The cape should be like... it should cut off here. That is going to be like a wedding gown if it was not billowing. I feel like that's a mistake when they modelled it and they just didn't catch it and had to go with it, because his cape is not that long. He has like a hoodie cape. He doesn't use it to swoop like Batman does. So it's a mistake. And again, Agrat's Earthshade go over the top of these and kind of brings out the detail, makes them look a little bit grimier, but I kind of like that. And it makes them look better from the kind of distance we're talking about, which is kind of like back here. But yeah, his cape, nah, way too long. That was a mistake on their behalf for sure. So then we have hired goons. 4 of the identical, so I'm not sure we need to dwell on them. 4 prisoners with crowbars. They have not handlebar mustaches, what's the other one? The goatees. Why did I say handlebar mustaches? That I didn't really paint on that well. I just did that I implied the hair is there. I didn't show the hair, I implied the hair is there. And obviously that's Gryph-hound Orange and Agrax. I didn't put much Agrax over them actually, I felt it wasn't necessary. But you'll be seeing them in Mission 2 I believe, along with the other henchmen we're going to see here. Come on now. There, close enough. Good enough. If I had a steadier hand I would have put the prison numbers on the back, but I do not have a steady hand. So these hazmat troopers, I don't like how they're modelled. I don't mind them, but they've got one massive problem, and that's because in the moulding there should be a gap in there, but it's all filled in with plastic. And it's not like loose plastic, it's not flash, it's not just stuff you can get rid of. It's just been modelled like that. So it's just the way they're sculpted, and they did it for ease of sculpting. I get it, but it makes them look worse. It does. And now if I was brave, could take a drill bit to try and make space like it's supposed to have, but no, I'm not taking a risk like that. So I am not versed with like drilling holes in the barrels of your guns in 40k miniatures and such. That's something I've never done. But other than that, they're okay, and you don't really notice them, again, unless you get right up in them, especially because I painted the spaces black to try and mask them as shadow. And I think it kind of worked. It's just if you turn them in certain angles you can really see it. But yeah, those hazmat troopers will be helping Dr. Death. So I guess we should cover what I didn't cover last time, which is this gigantic, it won't fit in frame, gigantic T-Rex painted with contrast. And it turned out really well. I don't know if it was just the detail on the plastic, or just particularly the Militarum green, the Skeletal Horde, a little bit of Agrax over the top for the darker bits. It took to it so well. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It made a very nice display piece for the Batcave themed table we've been using for the Batman miniature game. And it is among the biggest things I've ever painted with contrast, and I think it turned out the best of the big things I've painted with contrast. The other two being a Wraith Knight and a Storm Surge from 40k. So, last two. This is Bloom, or Mr. Bloom. He will be a villain in the 3rd scenario in Gotham City Chronicles, so his minions will have to be painted up. I liked him until he was building sized, and then he was boring and dull and bad. But prior to that he was kind of creepy and I liked him. So like this, that's perfect size. Be this. Don't be a giant building stomping monster with an army of mechs that look like Joker and Two-Face, and that story went off the rails. So anyway, here is Jim Gordon's Bat Robot mech suit, called Rookie. He can pilot it as a mech, or it can kind of autonomously act and obey his orders. This is the Ultramarines blue contrast, again more black, etc. I like his design as a mech. Not super happy with the finish. I think I dry brushed a little bit of Caldor blue. What is that called? Is it Caldor? I don't remember if I'm saying the right name of the blue. It's the kind of sky blue normal Citadel paint. I might be blanking on the name. But yeah, as a mech suit, I like Rookie. It's a shame what happened to him in Who Are the Secret Six. But anyway, so to end on, we have Drax. And we have, fresh off the table, Ronan the Accuser for Marvel Crisis Protocol. They'll be in the next battle report, which will be... Ooh, it might be the next video you see. It depends what's filmed over the weekend. So I had a lot of trouble deciding what skin colour to go with Drax, because obviously they've gone with the comic book version, not the film version. Come on now. In focus. You can do it. But I did just use Warp Lightning. Pardon me. I feel like I should have done what I did for Drax in Marvel Universe, which you'd have to go back to like the first or second one of these videos to see. I used Plaguebearer Flesh, and it's a very, very kind of lime greeny, very weak coloured. I think it would have been better. I wimped out of copying what I did for that, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to copy the box art, and the box art is very bright green, like this. I'm not as happy with the finish, as a result. But, again, from tabletop distance, you can tell it's Drax, if nothing else, well, unless I hold it perfectly still, obviously, in which case he's cloaked, but if I'm moving him around like this, you can tell it's Drax. So that's okay. And speaking of not looking anything like their movie equivalents, Ronin looks nothing like he did in the Marvel Universe movies. Or the cinematic universe, I should say. Although his hammer does, I guess, as if it had the Power Stone stuck in it. But yeah, this is his comic book look. So he's got the Kree blue skin, but then he's wearing basically all green. Warp Lightning green for most of the deeper green. And then the paler one is the one I'm talking about for Drax's skin. That's Plaguebearer Flesh. And he's on the larger base. A little bit of bronze paint, a little bit of Agrax. I'm happier with how he turned out. I don't know how accurate I've got it. Oh, I put a little bit of Biltang green wash over the silver because it looked like it was tainted green in the official paint job. I was just trying to emulate that. I think you can see it better on the shoes more so than the gauntlets. Yeah, I think you're getting a like metallic greeny, but it's still silver. So that's what I was going for. And yeah, I'm happy with how he turned out. Interesting model. I'm not sure how he'll do on the table, but we will see in the next Crisis Protocol Battle Report. So that's it. I'm sorry I put everything slightly to the left so now it's not in frame. I really should stop doing that. But that is it. That's just over however many days since the last ones. Painting so many hired goons from Gotham City Chronicles with at least 8 more to go. But then, after those 8, I think we are safe for a few scenarios. And as for what's coming next, Ebony Maw, Black Dwarf, they are assembled and ready for paint for Crisis Protocol and just waiting for Thanos so we can run some Black Order. And, well, obviously a lot more Gotham City Chronicle miniatures. There is a surprise coming. I don't know how specific I want to be, but there is a surprise coming. There'll be an unboxing. And it's something out of left field. It's not a new game we're going to be playing on the channel or anything like that. It is miniatures. But, well, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're familiar with my video game channel and Twitch stream that I do every night. But yeah, if you're not familiar with that, prepare to be surprised, and I'm looking forward to it. Fingers crossed it arrives soon, but it's coming from far away, so who knows. It might not be in the next update, or the unboxing might not be next week, let's say. But that's a lot of stuff done. I hope this encourages you to get on the painting table for yourself, get stuff painted. There's no harm in having stuff not be painted, obviously, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the drive. But even if you can't paint, let me be a prime example. Even if you cannot paint, it's still enjoyable. And it looks better painted, even if you're like me and not particularly great at it. Contrast helps, obviously. Contrast hides all sins. So hopefully this has inspired you to take a little bit of paint to your models. Show me them on Twitter if you want. @GamerEND is my Twitter. I like seeing all the miniatures. I retweet and fave what I can, as long as I remember to do so. And yeah, I think that about covers it. Thank you for watching. See you again in about 2 weeks for some more. I promise there will not just be Gotham City Chronicles, I promise. Until then though, thanks for watching. Ta-ta for now.